Hello and welcome to my living room tour. It is way overdue. I kept putting off this video because I felt like I kept changing things, or I'm like, oh, I want to add this, and like maybe in a few months, and then I'm like, why don't I just show it now? It's like basically done. I'm very excited about it. So this is that. If you guys remember, I did a living room tour with our last house. We live in San Diego. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. At our old house, the vibes were definitely a little bit more like light, beige, super neutral, like bunch of different shades of white basically. And then we found this new house, which I loved, but all of the bones of it were a bit more like modern and masculine and like pops of black everywhere. And I was like, like, I just didn't know what to do because in my head, I'm more of like a clean space, like minimal, feminine, Frenchy kind of person. I don't know if that, maybe you'll follow along. But so I was a little nervous about it, but I feel like I've been able to kind of combine what feels good to me and normal to me decor-wise with our new house. But I don't know, let me know if you guys think we conquered that vibe. But we did have designers help us, which was super awesome and helpful. I definitely sent a kajillion mood boards and had a big say in what pieces we chose and stuff. But it definitely helped having somebody else's perspective and eye on this, especially since this is not a decor style that I was typically like used to. But yeah, super helpful, super fun. We have some fun pieces. And I will say the biggest goal for me was for it to feel homey. I was a little worried like moving into this house that since it is so different than anything I've ever lived in or whatever, that I just wouldn't feel cozy and at home. But I feel like we've been able to do that, and now I do, which is very exciting. And I guess I'm not gonna keep talking. Let's just like dive into it. So this is my living room tour. We're gonna start at the front, kind of like where you walk in or whatever, but this is our entryway. Oh my gosh, it's hailing outside. Hold on, I gotta show you all this. Hail? What? Can you guys see that? All right, POV, you come in the house and here's our entryway, which is honestly one of my favorite spots in the entire house. I kept seeing all these like design accounts and stuff do these like big massive pieces of art or mirrors and these cool little funky entryway tables, and I just think it has so much personality. And our old house didn't have a space for it, so now that this one does, I was like, let's like really do it right. Very obsessed with this. You'll see throughout the house that we have a lot of doubles. I just love anything in twos. So we have these two cute little benches. I will be linking everything below also. I'll try to remember where some things are from, but whatever. But we have these two cute little benches. This bowl was from my old house. And then these books were also from my old house. These are Taschen books, and they're just super vibey and cute. But actually our interior designers actually came up with setting these under here. At first I was like, I'm not sure, but they did it, and I was like, I'm obsessed. We have a lot of these Jo Malone candles around the house. I am just obsessed with them, plus they last like a year or two. I'm very particular of when I light them because I don't want to waste them. But obsessed with these. This is probably my favorite scent of all of them, so I'm saving her. And then we have this really pretty vase with these little cuties. These came with the house, the sconces, which are really pretty. I thought about doing something different, but I do like that they're simple. So it totally works for me. Dylan's shoes are usually all stacked up over there, but right now I just, you know, shoved them to the side. So let's act like they're not there. So the mirror is from Zara Home. I loved how like massive she was. Plus it brings a lot of like good reflection and open light to the room. I was about to do a big art piece here, but I just kind of really liked the mirror concept. I thought it was nice. And then the stools are also Zara Home. I just checked. Rug was from Etsy, and I just think it adds a little bit of fun to this area. As soon as you like walk into the house, I feel like it's like the first kind of moment you see it, and it really goes with the rest of the house. And some of these beige tones were pulled in from the curtains and stuff like that. Now for like the living area, we were so sad to get rid of our big cozy cloud couch, but it was just like too much in this room because it's such a big room. It needed a little bit of structure. So we were actually really lucky that we found somebody who wanted to buy the cloud couch, and we took that money and bought this couch. It's also from Restoration Hardware. The person that staged our home whenever we bought it actually had a very similar like structured couch. And we were like, yep, that looks great. So we got that, and this is super comfortable, and I'm just obsessed with it. I think it fits the room perfectly, and I'm in love with it. We also have these fun little black pillows, which I think kind of tie in, again, that like light but beige but pops of black kind of vibe in here. So I'm obsessed. Yay. Told you I love my doubles and things that come in pairs lately. So we have these two coffee tables, which I feel like are super fun and unique and bring a lot of lightness to the room. I kept going back and forth if I wanted something like wood toned here or not. But I feel like the white really just kind of brought it all together. I was like, I don't need to be too matchy, like different shades of white, you know, whatever. But these are from West Elm. I want to say, or one of the ones I looked at were indoor outdoor. So if you couldn't find little square boxes, if you wanted to recreate the look, or square little coffee tables, you could look in the outdoor section too. But I do feel like this is a super easy look to recreate if you can't find them on West Elm or whatever. But it definitely gives a lot of like space to kind of show off some personality up here, which I love. And y'all know I'm obsessed with decorating coffee tables and everything like that. Like that was like my hobby at the old house. But ever since we've had this design going on in here, like I haven't wanted to even touch it or change it, but maybe I'll play with it sometime. But really just used a bunch of different books. Our designers helped find just these different tones of books. A lot of them were super inexpensive. Some were from the old house, some from like Amazon. But yeah, these are the coffee table books that we have. And this is an old, under this one, I love the big Tom Ford ones. But sometimes the Tom Ford was just too like, I don't know, like a little outdated. I do like it, but whatever. But it's actually the cover of it. So we actually aren't even using it. It just kind of looks like it's a book, but that's a fun little style hack. This one's actually the Tom Ford book that I would typically put on display. But I like to kind of switch the pages up. I like this one because it adds a nice little print. Oh, look at you. Okay, so we'll do this one for the rest of the time. But I feel like it's fun to switch it and have one open, some stacked, and the little vases is really fun. I lit this because I love you guys. It's a special occasion. But yeah, that's the coffee table. And now moving on to the rug. The sun's hitting it perfectly. But this rug is, I believe, a Rugs USA. Massive. As soon as we put it in, I was like, homegirl's not gonna fit in here. It's too big, but it totally ended up working. I feel like it adds just a beautiful texture to the room. And I feel like it's held up pretty well too. It comes like this where some of these pieces are like out a little bit and stuff. But I've had a really good experience with this rug. And if you're looking for just a good textured, neutral colored rug, this one's really good. This is one of my favorite chairs like ever in the entire world. It's from Eternity Modern. They have really, really good stuff. But I feel like it's like a hugging chair. It kind of lifts up here on the side. You can relax, and it brings that like beigey tone in here that before we had this, I was like, I wish I had more beige and it wasn't so stark black and white. But this kind of adds a little bit of that, like, you know, whatever that I like. Me describing like home decor stuff is probably hilarious. Hopefully you guys are following what I'm saying. But really, really love this guy. It's super comfortable. And yeah, it has a little thing you can put your foot up. It's a little chase lounge, love it. This lamp too is from our old house. We got almost all of our lighting from Relative Lighting. But I am still equally as obsessed with this lamp. It's just so cool. And it's so funny because in our old house, our ceilings were much lower and like there wasn't as much furniture in our old living room. So this was such a statement in there. But it's funny with like how much more space we have. It just kind of hides in the corner now. But I feel like at the old house, I don't know if you remember, but I was like, whoa, like we have a big giant lamp. It's just kind of funny, but I would love to use her and bring her to every house with me ever. I just think it is such a cool piece. So, and you guys know, or if you don't know, you do know, I'm a big lamp girl. I love the overhead lighting for decor, but I don't turn on the overhead light. I'm like a big lamp person, and I like the type of light that this gives off. It's like a creamy white, not a yellow, not a blue toned. It's just like such a warm, cozy kind of lamp. So yeah. Here's our media console, which I felt like had a really cool texture to it. And I like how big she is. A part of me wishes she could be a little bit bigger because this wall is so massive, but with the way, like the layout of the chair and the plant, it actually works perfectly. But this is from Homery, and I feel like I got it for like $600 or $700. And it came so fast and it was in really great shape. So I was really, really pleasantly surprised with this. On the inside of here, I keep crap, so not gonna open it. And then we have a few more fun little details on top of it. Don't even get me started with this candle. She will not for the life of me stand up. Like, it's just like, oh wait, is she standing? There we go. I have issues with the candlestick, but I got these from Amazon, and I know so many people have them, but they really do add such a fun little like kind of Frenchy feel to any room, and it's so simple. Love, it's great. Our faux, it's obviously not real. We're never home. Well, I mean, she looks like she could be real, but I'm obsessed with our olive tree. We used to have this like, I think it was like a fiddle leaf tree, but I feel like moving in the olive tree route like totally changed the room for us. This one's from Pottery Barn. Very much recommend. Love, 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 love. And I found this pot on some website. I'll try to link it below. But I actually had a hard time finding like plant pots and plant vases that I actually liked. Plus they're so expensive, like, which I kind of get, but not really. But I loved the shape of this one, and plus it wasn't gonna take like 10 months to get to me like these other pots. So found this one and I was like, cha-ching. Okay, I love anything this texture. I feel like we have so many pieces in our house now that are this kind of texture. I'm actually not gonna make up where these are from. It's either like Zara Home or H&M Home, but they're a really cool shape. And I sit here like every single day. It's like my spot. So I just really love them. And plus the bottom of them are kind of open, which I feel like helps it not block off the back patio, sort of. Does that make sense at all? But yeah, really, really love these. Originally, we were gonna put them in the office and we were gonna do the old round chairs I had here, but I like that these were open under it. So it kind of like kept the room kind of open and airy. These curtains are from Pottery Barn and I really like the color of them. I do miss my old curtains a little bit from the old house just because they were so thick. But I do like that these are thinner so the light comes through, which is really nice. But at the old house, they were like super thick and luxury, I guess. So I do miss that part. I thought about getting more panels of these in here so that kind of built them up a little bit. But I do love them. And the light, when the light hits behind these guys, it's very beautiful and very stunning. So love that. Oh, and I don't know if you guys remember my YouTube video or I've talked about it on Instagram before, but I did end up replacing the Restoration Hardware chandeliers with this one and one in the other room. And I thought this made the room feel so much more open. It's from Relative Lighting. It's like the only place I get my lighting. I'm obsessed. But I feel like it really helped it make it feel like Frenchy in here. Because before it was like, it was a pretty chandelier. I just don't think it went with this vibe of the room. So I'm very stoked about this guy, plus the accents of gold match the gold sconces. It just kind of all flows. This console table that's behind the couch is from Crate and Barrel, I believe. And to be totally honest, this is not a piece I would have normally picked out because it's so like, I don't know, it's kind of funky, like organic type of like legs under it, and it just feels really like bold to me, but I'm so happy with it, and I think it's one of my favorite pieces of this whole room. It being a little bit higher, I like that it's just, is kind of fun. Like, I mean, it's about the same height as the couch with the cushions, but I was like, does it need to be super low and all this stuff? But I really like that it kind of creates like a funky type of visual. And it feels like artsy, which I typically don't lean towards, but very, very excited and happy about this piece. And then we have these two cute little, again, more doubles. I'm just twin girl. But we have these two little baskets under here where we keep our blankets. So I just feel like these are super cute. So very excited about how this all visually kind of came together. Also, before guests come, I love spraying this. It's called Sleep, but I don't think it really puts you to sleep. Will this focus? This is just from like Bath and Body Works. It's a pillow and body mist, but it's black chamomile, and I'm telling you, if you spray this, like, I like to put it right over this, like on the rug kind of, so when people walk in, they think it just smells amazing. It doesn't put them to sleep, I promise, but it just smells really fresh and nice, so I love that. This piece is really fun here. That's all I have to say about that. And then we have this little fake bowl of limes, but I feel like the little pops of green here and there is kind of fun. Have people tried to use these before? Yes, for margaritas. They're fake. Here's behind our living room, so it's just basically another seating area. But I feel like this was definitely an out of my comfort zone spot, but I'm in love with it. And I actually sit here so often, like working. This is like where I work a lot of the time. So we have this fun little like table, which is clear and just super funky and fun and different. And we actually have this rug that I believe this it's like an animal shape kind of rug, but it actually came with the house and it was downstairs, like literally by the stairs, but I brought it up here and I was like, that's kind of fun. All 3 of these seating pieces, this one, this like daybed thing, and this one are all from Eternity Modern. Again, I mean, just honestly, like the coolest, sleek little pieces ever. And I feel like these really go with the house, which I felt like was super crucial. And especially for a seating area, I was like, let's play with it. Like, let's have some fun. And I'm super stoked about how it kind of came together. This light, the chandelier, is also Eternity. The chandelier is actually Relative Lighting. It's super funky. And I hope nobody ever pokes their eye out, but we have the pieces of furniture below it, so that hopefully that doesn't really happen. But obsessed with it. And actually for this daybed, the original plan actually was to set it over here. And she was gonna live like up there, and I liked it, but I just missed my little white double chairs kind of. So it ended up actually working perfectly here, and I'm super happy with how it came together. And yes, this is a Christmas tree skirt. So I don't even know where this came from, but this goes under the Christmas tree. But for the rest of the year, when it's not like December, it just kind of flows on there for fun. And we have these little pieces. Yes, we have played with this little Jenga set, and no, it doesn't damage this table. I think because this one's glass and these are like plastic, maybe it's like science, I don't know. But that's kind of the gist for this spot. I guess this is technically part of the living room also, but we have these 2 pieces, which I'm obsessed with. These are actually from a local spot, and they're vintage, but I feel like the tones are just stunning. I actually got this gifted from Saint Laurent, which was insane. And then we had an artist make this for us. This was behind our old couch at the old house. If you remember, we had 2 of them. So super fun little area. I like it. Okay, so that's kind of the living room tour. I hope I didn't forget anything. But let me know your thoughts below. And I actually don't even know how to describe my style for it. Like maybe modern European something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But more videos coming soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. And Dylan, what do you think about our house? You like the living room?
Yes.
He decorated the whole thing, didn't you?
I did it myself.
He did it all himself, DIY. But yeah, just really, really grateful for the whole place, and just excited that I got to share it with you guys. So have the best day, and yeah, I'm gonna go watch Dylan play basketball in his little league thing. So I gotta go, but love y'all.